This is a shorty heel tab socks pattern by Larissa Gregorin, and it's a free pattern you can find on Ravelry, but really like this tab and a heel tab here. It stays up nice. And the pattern instructs you to use a German short row method, and from experimentation and advice from others, we're looking at doing this instead as a twin stitch, similar to what you would do in the shadow wrap heel. And so the pattern states that you should knit to the last 3 stitches. You knit this stitch and then turn and do a German short row, pull the yarn up and over. But instead what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down and we're gonna lift, just like we would on the knit side of a shadow wrap heel. Go down and lift up that bar, that right leg of the stitch. I keep my fingernail on it so that I don't lose it. Knit through it and put that stitch back. So basically it's a twin stitch. That's the right side. And then we're gonna turn and you'll purl back until we're at the third, there's 3 stitches left. Now I'll purl back, and one of the things that I did do that I didn't mention is I double checked to make sure. I knit with 64 stitches, but I double checked to make sure this had 32 stitches on the needle, so that it would be accurate. Sometimes my stitches get flipped around, or if I didn't divide it quite right for magic loop. I like to work magic loop for my sock knitting. I like to work on a 32-inch. 24 will work as well, but 32 just gives you a little bit more give. And so you will purl up to until you have 3 stitches left on the needle. And then you're just basically going to do the exact same thing. If you're familiar with the shadow wrap heel, we like to use Ertone Girls tutorials and Denise's teaching for that. We're here, so I've got 3 stitches, well, I've got 4. So this stitch needs to be worked as a short row. And so what I do in the shadow wrap heel is I like to just kind of lay my yarn down. Then I bring that stitch over, and you're going to go down and you're going to pick up that purl bump, pull it out, and then you'll purl into that purl bump. Cinch it up, and then you'll pass the buddy or the twin stitch back to this side, and then you're ready to go back and do the knit side again. So you'll turn it, and we'll go back and we'll knit to the stitch right before our last twinned stitch. So there you can see the twin stitch. So I'll come to this stitch and I'll work this stitch, and then I'll go back and do the purl, and I'll continue until I have 5 stitches that have been twinned on each side. All right, let's take a look at it. I have worked 5 shadow wraps. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're twin stitches. And the same over here, I finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we'll treat it just like we do in the shadow wrap heel. You will knit to the first shadow wrap, and you will knit those 2 together. And then come upon it here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here he is. There's a twin. So we're going to go in. I always pull my fabric down just a little bit with my thumb and my index finger, and that allows me to really be able to get in there and knit those two together. And then you make a triple stitch. And so this is where there's the twin. You go down and grab that right leg, put him up on the needle, keep your fingernail right there so it holds it, and then make him a triple. And then at that point, you're going to turn around and we'll come back and we'll purl this together and then make the next purl a triple. Okay, here I have purled up to the first purl twin stitch. So you would purl into that, purl those two together, and then you need to make the next one a triple. So you bring him over, and then you go down and pick up that purl bump, and purl into that and make him a triple. Doing this through the camera, so. And then you put it back over, and you'll turn around and you'll work the next triple, make a triple, turn until you've worked all 5, or there'll be, until you have 1 stitch on each side, and then you'll resolve those as you finish, and you'll have a neat little heel flap, or not heel tab, not flap. Okay, now I have worked back to my very first triple stitch, and so you will knit all 3 of those strands together. And again, I give it a little tug down so that it opens it up. Make sure you're catching all 3, knit those together, and then you will triple stitch the next stitch by lifting it up, putting it on, triple, put it back, turn, and I'll have to do it 2 more times, and then we'll be ready to go round and round. Okay, I have worked until I have a triple stitch on this end, and there is a triple stitch here. So now I am ready to go ahead and I'll work across and resolve this, and then start working in the round again, and I'll resolve this triple stitch when I come back to it. But I wanted to show you the tab. Oh my gosh, it looks awesome. It looks really nice and neat with the twin and the little shadow wrap stitches that you do with twins and triples, and it creates a beautiful little tab. Once I get it knit a little further, I'll show you how it folds together and looks. Okay, I've completed the tab, the heel tab. So you knit 9 rows after you complete your short rows, and look, they look really nice. Really gives a nice tab, clean look. So what's next is I'll remove the provisional and then knit these 2 together, and then I'll be ready to just go round and round again. Really like the little short row way to work, the shadow wrap way to work this little heel tab. Makes it nice and clean on those edges.